Now, there's a lot of games that I like to consider to be probably the top 10 of my SNES games. Classic games. You got Super Mario World, Super Metroid, you have Chrono Trigger, you have Secret of Mana, you have Final Fantasy VI, you have Super Castlevania. There's so many to count and so many to even fit in on the top 10. But there's one particular person and one particular IP that really touches my heart in a lot of sense. A lot of people tend to think it's not the best SNES game. I tend to think that it's probably the best SNES game and probably the whole library, consistently with a lot of other things that I'm going to bring up. Probably you might think, well, kind of overboard on the best SNES games because everybody always says the RPG games are the best. Although technically, came into the Super Nintendo way early in its life cycle, and I really have a huge emotional attachment to that system. Got me through some of the worst parts of my life as a kid, and it made things a lot better. Let's talk about the one, the only, who, by the way, is having an anniversary. I don't know, some people are kind of forgetting, but a good boy, a pink fluff, Kirby. Now you might say, whoa, Carlos, Kirby, probably the best SNES game? Highly doubt it. I'm gonna point out some things that technically to me, it is part of I think people should really play the hell out of this game. A lot of people skipped on it. And the reason why is because Kirby is essentially always the last couple of, it's always like the last game that comes out at the end, or usually at the end of the system or at the middle end of the system. And it doesn't get the love and respect it should. I'm going to talk about one game in particular, which is probably my top #1 game, which is Kirby Super Star for the SNES. Now, if you don't know what Kirby Super Star SNES is, it is a Kirby game for the Super Nintendo that is not a puzzle game or none of that. It's not a matching game. It is literally a 2D game. And you're probably thinking, well, what 2D game? I mean, every Kirby game is awesome. Squeak Squad and 64. Yes, totally get you guys on that one. But this game in particular has a great, amazing just way of compilation of games. If you guys know, Kirby Super Star came out usually at the late of the Super Nintendo lifespan. I remember picking this guy up really late in the lifespan. Actually, if I remember, I think it was about 10 or 11 when this game actually started gaining traction during the timeline of the Super Nintendo. This was around the time the PlayStation was coming along, so was the 64. A lot of the kids in my neighborhood in particular were really talking about Kirby Super Star, and I didn't understand why. I didn't know why they were still playing the 2D games. I was already off of it. I was playing Jet Moto, Crash Bandicoot. I was playing Cube. I was playing all these games that nobody was already like playing yet. So I decided to play the game. And let me tell you one thing about this game. This game is fucking crazy. Now you might be thinking like crazy, like how like this is just horrific controls. No, the controls are probably the best thing in this damn game. This game is probably the most well-controlled characters, if anything. I wouldn't say almost everything because there are some initial things, but what makes this game really special is the sound, the gameplay, the controls, and just in overall all the games that you get for the price it came out at the time. Now you gotta understand, back then games were about $60, around about $70, depending on what system you get. When we all picked up Superstar, this game had, from what we understood, it said 7 games in 1, which always usually means like you would think those weird, I don't know, those weird fucking Toys R Us games, or not Toys R Us, those weird Swap Meet, those like 100 games in 1. You've probably seen them. I'll probably put an image up there. But let me tell you one thing. This game did not disappoint on its games. You know, you start off with Spring Breeze. If you guys know Spring Breeze, it's literally a remake, or kind of a remake of the first Kirby's Adventure, now upgraded. And not just that, you get a bunch of other games in there. You got Dino Blade. You got a racing game with King Dedede. You have a punching game where you have to punch half of the world. These are just little mini games, by the way. And then you have Milky Way. Then you have God, I can't even remember the other ones, but it gets they get the Treasure Hunter one, which is amazing because in that game in particular, 2 players is probably the funnest thing you could do in this game. Not only the sound is amazing, the soundtrack itself for Kirby Super Star is a remake of every Kirby game that's come out since then. And not just that, tenfold even better tracks for everybody. Now I can't put too much tracks in the back because you know Nintendo is a little crazy on it, that stuff. But the controls are really great. Not only do you have the ability to copy enemies and stuff, each game in particular changes up the way you play and stuff. Now, for example, there's some other games where you actually have to earn the fact of these abilities. You collect them, you collect abilities as you keep progressing to the game. There's a final game in there where you have to actually collect all of them, and collect them as in like you don't just suck them in and collect them. You have to actually earn them and find them. So it changes it up a little bit, and the difficulty does get a little harder as you go, but each game in particular does give you an example of how games should be progressed all the time. No holding hands, no nothing, just the way you're supposed to progress and learn each character. Sound, of course, is from the great, amazing minds of HAL Laboratories as well. And of course, Sakurai was a really great influence on the game. He worked really hard on this. Man, this game is really well deserved. Not only does it should be getting the highest praise, actually make a remake out of it, if you guys didn't know, on the Nintendo DS called Ultra Super Star. So it's really good. That version is awesome as well, because you get to play as fucking Meta Knight. Meta Knight, come on, Meta Knight. And he does all the amazing moves as anybody else. So if you guys are wondering what game you should pick up anytime, Superstar right now was available for Wii U. But if you don't want that and you want to try something on the go pick up Ultra Superstar. It is amazing. It is literally the same thing, remade with a couple more sprites from the GBA ones and DS ones. So you want to pick that one up. I have all copies of it. I think I have Kirby Super Star in every system I can own right now. So definitely worth check it out. I know I might have gone maybe too much of a rant on Kirby, but it's a good game. I can't even tell you guys. I try not to go too much on script because then it just doesn't feel right. And then, I don't know, I'm just talking about this game from my heart. No script, just the way it is. And I don't, I might edit some things out, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like it comes across not very sentimental. This game really actually got me through a lot of crap as a kid. So not only do I really respect this game and the fact that its gameplay is amazing, its UI is simple, its controls are very responsive and reactive, the soundtrack's amazing, you can hum it for like hours if you want, not even get bored. I pump that music with my son as I'm gonna drop him off. It's some of the best music you ever hear. And not only that, graphically it looks great. It was great at the time, right at the tipping point of Super Nintendo. So not only does it deserve a good spot, I think it deserves the top spot for me and for a lot of people that are in my neighborhood at the time. So my only regret is not playing this game way earlier when it actually did come out. So I kind of wish I could go back and really play it at that point in time, because it was very modest, very honest, you know what I mean? So, but thank you guys for actually watching this stupid video of me actually gloating over Kirby Super Star. It's probably it's so good. Go play it. I don't even know you're watching this. Go play the game. It's super good. Not only that, will I be doing more of these uncut reviews? I say so, maybe. If you guys like it, just leave a comment. That'd be kind of cool. Let me know. I'm just trying out new things. I thought if I want to talk about games and not really review them, but just kind of overview them, I say just do it uncut, right? I mean, it's better. It's organic. Might be a little long, but I mean, it's better just to talk about games that really matter to you, right? In the most sincere way. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.